I'm Kurt Shimmers. Every day, fortunes are gained and lost in the financial markets. News, trends, and even geopolitical events shape your financial landscape. Join me and my expert guests right now on Traders Nation. Welcome. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. Thanks for making us a part of your day, Don. I've got a fantastic show. Anthony Saccaro, he's going to be back with us here today. He's president of Providence Financial. We're going to be talking about Social Security. What's going on there? Believe it or not, they're going to have to tap into the trust fund for the first time in 36 years. We're going to discover what does that mean to all of us that have been putting into it and plan on putting into it, or have to put into it for that matter. Plus, stocks, cannabis is on our list here today, and gambling. We're going to be talking about that. So we got gas, we got stocks, charts, and a whole lot more. Stay tuned right here to Traders Nation.
Traders Nation, if you promise not to tune out, we promise not to talk about you while you're gone. Traders Nation. Traders Nation. Get Pro Online DVD Trader today. Whether you're an experienced trader or just beginning, you'll improve your skills dramatically. Click on the Knowledge Center button to order your copy today. Traders Nation, delivering what you want when you want it. Traders Nation. Traders Nation. Live.
It's on the whole time.
Bringing traders coverage of the markets, solid trading strategies, potential hot stock movers, world-class guests, informative callers, and unsurpassed market chatter for traders to take all the way to the bank.
You guys got some great stuff coming out. I mean, the great station.
Stay on top.
This is always changing. It's always fresh. Something new.
Stay tuned in. Traders Nation.
It's always something to look forward to.
Clearly, you can hear the difference. Traders Nation. It's the Traders Nation Network.
That's right. Hi, I'm Steve Forbes, and you're watching Traders Nation.
Steve Forbes. Catch it. Yeah, it's Forbes. Steve Forbes. Presidential candidate. Well, I know, way back when, right? Wrote some great books. Certainly publisher of Forbes magazine. You can catch that interview over at tradersnation.com or over at our YouTube channel. Get it today. Hey, Don, I want to let everyone know about Pro Online Trader DVD. Listen, man, when we're talking about support and resistance, channels, things of that nature, and it sounds great to you, you got to get a copy of Pro Online Trader DVD. Head on over to tradersnation.com today. Click on that More button, and we'll send you out one of your copies, priority, United States Postal Service, okay? You'll get it in like 2-3 days, man. And not only that, let's say you can't use it, but you know somebody that can. Hey, Don, this is a great stocking stuffer. Come on, it's right around the corner. Christmas is, Don. They can get a copy of this, all right? Speaking about that, hey, get a copy of Pro Online DVD, plus pick up a little MJ.
That's right, MJ.
Yeah, get down over. Right. Yeah, ETF MJ Cannabis is on our list here today. MJ is in Mary Jane. Yeah, it's Mary Jane ETF Managers Trust. Currently trading at $30.89 here today, Don. 254,000 shares exchanging hands on MJ. Finding some support at that $28.40 level. We talked about that on the last edition of Traders Nation. If it's going to drop, because these are volatile. These stocks are going up, they're going down, they're going every which way. The cannabis area is, okay? It did find some support, Don, at that $28.40 range. Currently back up after about 5 trading sessions, came back down. But it's actually starting to form a nice chart where you can start picking up some of these entries and exits. Bring your charts up on this. Don, your thoughts?
Well, sometimes new markets like we have here on the cannabis, marijuana markets, all the new issues that are coming out and raising money can drive you crazy. Yeah. Interestingly enough, there's a way to play them, and one of the ways is with a basket of stocks, and the simple way here is with MJ.
Right.
Now, this stock, an ETF trading on New York MJ, trading at around $31 today. The stock is up. Most of the marijuana stocks are up, but they've also been hit very harshly here over the past couple of weeks. And MJ got kind of trimmed back yesterday with Tilray being in there, and ACB, Aurora Cannabis, CGC Canopy is one we talk about, and of course Cronus. But the point is that all those stocks are becoming more mature as companies, and now they're reporting their quarterly earnings.
Okay.
And sometimes when the analysts sit on the call, they don't like what they hear.
Okay.
An example would be on all the companies I just mentioned, Tilray, Aurora, Cronus, and Canopy Growth. They all reported increased operating costs. Well, there's a surprise.
Yeah.
And as a result, these stocks get trimmed back a little bit.
Right.
But MJ having a pretty good, decent day today, up $1.50.
I wonder if analysts are going to have to rearrange how they look at cannabis, or is it going to be the same, perimeters that analysts use to look at every single company, every single stock? Considering the infancy of the cannabis area, okay, I wonder if they have to look at it a little bit different, slightly different, or if no, as an analyst, I'm going to look at this sector as I would look at any sector, whether it's infancy or mature. I'd be interested to learn about that, Don, that's for sure. But here we have MJ. Like Don said, this is a basket of stocks. Most of them are on our list here today as an ETF, Don, right? So,
yes.
So certainly there. MJ, $30.89. Keep it on your radar if it's not there already. CGC, Charlie Golf Charlie, is Canopy Growth Corp, Don, trading at $36.12 here today. 3.9 million shares exchanging hands, Don, on this one. Same as MJ. It had this 5-day drop, and if you bring your charts up, boom, 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 5 days down. Yeah. It found some love right there. It's 200-day moving average. You'll notice that if you're looking at your charts. While volatile, using your charts here on some of these cannabis stocks, and they're all trading the same way, you can find yourself some nice entry and some nice exit points, okay? Maybe lease them for a couple days. If you're a day trader, swing trader, or whatever, certainly something to look at when it comes to these cannabis stocks, because they're really starting to form those entry-exit chart patterns, Don.
Now, above and beyond the stocks we just talked about, including MJ, coming across the wire as the show got started here was that one of the stocks we talk about within the cannabis/marijuana is this company NewBev, NBEV, New Age Beverage.
Okay.
Now, New Age Beverage is a company that is infusing the beverages with marijuana. And so coming across the wire, as we get started here, they've just raised $52 million.
Not bad, Don.
In another offering. So there's a lot of money that's pouring into a lot of these Canadian canopy companies. And, of course, Canada just announced recently that marijuana is legal.
Yeah, totally. So, considering the legality status in Canada, I think we're going to see a lot of Canadian companies really running forward and taking the ball in this particular space. For instance, like NewBev. Now, Don, is the ticker on that NB as in Bravo, E, V as in Victor?
Yeah, NBEV. Stock's trading at around $3.75, and on the wire, they've raised $52 million here in an offering, a secondary offering. So lots of money being poured into these companies.
Sure.
And on a go-forward basis, we'll see who survives, who's acquired, and then ultimately who has to close shop.
That's right, and that's how it's going to play out. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly how this is going to play out. Okay. NewBev, we'll keep it on our radar. Put it on yours also. Let's add that to our list, Don. Hey, Don, let's move on to Cronus, C-R-O-N. Charlie, Robert, Oscar, Nancy is the phonics for that one. $8.81 where it's currently trading at right now. Finding some love right there at its 200-day moving average. Luckily, I'm so happy to see that it did find some love there, holding at that 200-day moving average. And in fact, if you look at your charts for the last 3 days, that's exactly where the stock has held, right there at its 200-day moving average. 3 green candles in a row. If you're looking at your charts, check it out here today. C-R-O-N. Don?
Well, on Cronus, that is a operating company that pours money into some of these businesses. And same thing, operating profits a little bit down. They're spending a lot of money on a lot of these companies. And so that stock has been setting it here in this range. If you, like we were talking before the show got started, if you get the charts out and take a look at these charts, they're all just about exactly the same.
They really are. If you had a clear piece of acetate, you know what that is. It's clear paper. Clear piece of acetate, you laid these charts over each other. Man, they look so identical, it's not even funny. In fact, if you were going to trade these on swing trades, you literally could trade probably all of these, with your entries and your exits, okay? Because these charts are that similar. ACB, let's move on to that. Aurora Cannabis, trading at $6.65. All right, Don, so stock's coming down. Certainly getting probably more affordable for some folks looking for some type of entry into the cannabis space. Aurora Cannabis is one of those. 5.6 million shares exchanging hands here today. Sadly, ACB couldn't hold its 200-day moving average, but it did find support right there at that $6, Don.
This is a stock that was trading over the counter and now trades New York. And,
sure.
When you make the jump from OTBB to New York, obviously many funds can now buy the stock. They're restricted by their charter when stocks trade over the counter. So at 874, same thing, lay out the chart, take a look, and this is one. Same thing, reporting and operating profits are increasing, but they've raised a lot of money.
Yeah, they certainly have. Yeah, they certainly have. Now ACB has really come from ground floor, did some phenomenal advancements all the way up to, what was it, 10, 11, 12 bucks, something like that, Don? And now it's pulling back into this particular area. So we'll see how far, if it goes down any further. We'll see how far further, okay? Coming up next, we got Anthony Saccaro. And we're going to be talking about Social Security today. They got to tap into it, Don, into the trust fund. It makes me nervous. Makes me nervous like crazy. So we'll talk to Anthony next, plus stocks on the other side. Stay tuned. Right here to Traders Nation. We'll be right back.
Traders Nation salutes America. Stay strong, stay proud, and stay in the green with us. Traders Nation live, bold, and packed for profit every weekday morning.
Traders Nation, live, bold, and packed for profit. Sign up today for our weekly HTML newsletter and check out the Traders Nation store for products to enhance your stock trading day. Traders Nation, what you want, when you want it. Traders Nation.
Hey, Jeff Carlisa here from 38 Special, and we're rocking it up right here with Traders Nation.
We totally are, and welcome back. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. My pleasure to have back with us once again Anthony Saccaro. He's president of Providence Financial. Anthony, welcome back to Traders Nation. How are you today?
I'm doing phenomenal. Thanks for having me, Kurt.
Sure. Always a pleasure, Anthony. So, Anthony, here we go, man. All right, we've been hearing about this for years, and now it seems like we're here. Social Security to tap trust fund for the first time in 36 years. What does this mean for all of us?
You know, I think the media is reporting things that are maybe a little more out of whack and making things a little bigger than they are. What the question we get all the time is, what happens if my Social Security money runs out? What happens if I don't get it anymore? And that's not what's happening. The worst case scenario is that by 2034, the benefits across the board get reduced by 22%. So that's not good news. I don't want to be the one, telling my clients you're going to take a quarter of their income in a cut. But it's a much different scenario than having all the benefits run out completely. And there's a lot of things they can do to solve the problem, but it's not as bad as I think a lot of people think. It's not going away.
Yeah. All right. So, I always thought, and this is growing up, putting it into the system, and always hearing about, it's always going to run out. I always thought, well, what they're going to do is they're probably going to raise, and I'm speculating, this is what was in my head. They may never do this, Anthony, but this is was the twofold for me, was what I was always thinking. They're going to raise the age before you can get it. That makes sense. And before you can get your hands on it, and then they're going to reduce the benefits paying out. So I don't know your thoughts on any of that.
Yeah, there's a number of things that they can do to solve the problem.
Yeah.
We have to remember that when Social Security was started in 1935, there was one age, 65. That's it. And yet the average life expectancy in 35 was less than 60 years old. I mean, you weren't really supposed to get it. So not only could they raise the age, I'd be very fine with them raising the age, and they've already started to do that. And they've started to, they've got full retirement ages is larger than 65, and you can wait till 70. But they can also increase the amount of payroll taxes. Right now, if any amount over $120,000 does not go towards Social Security, doesn't count, they can raise that. But the problem is not that they can't solve the problem. Okay. The problem is it's the politicians. And there's lots of ways to make it work, but the political environment is such to where until December 31st of 2033 comes around, they're not. It's not going to be an urgent enough situation to tackle now. But there's lots of ways to solve the problem.
Man, they've been kicking that can down the road for so long. Ever since I can remember. I can remember pretty far back. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. And you're right. They may not fix anything until they absolutely need to, and then God, who knows what they'll come up with, okay? And another thought here, man, did they have the House in favor back in 1932 set at age 65? I bet they weren't thinking about longevity for 2018, were they at that time?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, they didn't know that. I mean, it used to be that the average, even just 25, 30 years ago, average retirement age was late 60s. So you didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah. I mean, in 1932, they were thinking 65, we got this. Nice.
That's right. And that's not what's happening. I mean, people living into their 80s today, into their 90s, and so it's different. Now, behind the scenes, though, here's the good news, and that is that the millennials are catching up, and the millennials are bigger than the baby boom generation, which is dragging on the Social Security. But as soon as they get out into the workforce en masse, I think they may be the Social Security saving grace.
Yeah, I sure hope so. At least there's one saving grace with the millennials that maybe we can count on, and that'll be it. So what's causing all this? Okay, is it the cost of living? Is it medical expenses? Certainly. What's causing all the having to tap into the trust fund? What is the cause?
Well, I think the biggest cause is the baby boomers. The baby boomers all through the 80s and 90s were in their prime working years, and that's why the 80s and 90s were so good. Yeah. Now the baby boomers are in their 50s to 70-year-old range, and they're slowing down. This generation, 4 times larger than any other generation except the millennials, is now dragging on the system. And back in the early years, there were 35 participants putting into Social Security for every one person taking out, and now that ratio is like 3 to 1. And it's just because there's so many people retiring so quickly, 10,000 a day at this point.
Yeah, all right. So Congress could really at any time choose to pay from benefits through the general fund. But do they really want to do that? Do they want to take from Paul to pay Peter?
Oh, no, and they're already $21 trillion in debt. I mean, that's the last thing that they want to do.
Sure.
But they don't have to. That's the key is they don't have to. If, you hear them say 70 is the new 60 or 60 is the new 50, and it's a cliche, but it's true. People are living longer today, and I have no problem if they were to raise the Social Security to 70 years old and 70 to be the new 65. Yeah. That would solve this problem tremendously, and people are living longer. There's no reason why they shouldn't do that. Not for people that are collecting Social Security now, but for people that have maybe 20 years or more to collect Social Security, it gives them time to catch up.
So maybe in tandem is what we're saying here, since the life longevity is greater, maybe in tandem the government should adjust that. But, I mean, I don't know how they could do that considering some people are really looking forward to that. Some people absolutely do need it, and they're at the cusp of collecting that Social Security that they've been put into. I don't know if they could ever do that or implement a way to do that without hurting a lot of people. Your thoughts?
Well, they can't implement it for the people that are within 20 years of retirement, for sure. And that's why I think if this is something you're going to do, you're going to grandfather it. We're talking about the 30 and maybe 40-year-olds today that this is going to affect, not the people that are within 20 years of retirement. Well, 100% agree with you.
Yeah, maybe that's fair because you know why? Because that gives them 20, 30, 40 years to plan for that, right? So that's
exactly right.
You got a 40-year heads up. You knew. And maybe they need to do that. Okay, so I'm not against that because I think it would hurt people today if they were to do something with the next 5 or 10 years even, let's say, okay? 30, 40 years out, they got time. They can figure it out, okay?
That's right.
What are some of the things that people can do to supplement that Social Security? Certainly financial planning and retirement comes into play, doesn't it? And we're almost out of time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the difference is when you get to Social Security age, if you can't live on your Social Security, then you need to find another source of income. And for most retirees, that's going to be their portfolios. And the biggest mistake that I see retirees make is they keep investing in retirement the way that they've invested getting to retirement. And the strategy in retirement for your portfolio is completely different than the strategy getting to retirement. So you need to be investing for income and earning enough dividends and interest from your portfolio to be able to live off of without ever having to sell any shares. And if you can live off the income of your portfolio, then you don't have to worry about your portfolio running out. And that's a great way to supplement Social Security and still protect your principal at the same time.
Are we seeing some of these income strategies suffering today, considering the Fed rates?
100% yes.
Yeah,
100% yes. And the rates have been so low for so long. I've got a client that's been a waiter at a restaurant for 40 years, just making a decent wage, saved over $1.5 million, and now he was planning on retiring and living in on the interest of that, and he can't live on 3 or 4% of that money, and that's what's going on across the board. And now rates are going up, but the moment they announce rate hikes, mortgage rates go up like the next day, credit card rates go up the next day, but savings rates takes a couple years to catch up. That's just the way that it is.
What's with the trailing rate on that? It just drives me crazy because, like you said, your mortgage rates go up. Like they got their finger on the trigger, just waiting to raise the rates on that with the banks.
Yeah, you know what? It's just a way of making more money. It's just a way of getting more profitable. They don't have to pay right away, and it's almost like there's a, like they have a secret meeting behind the scenes and say, hey, you raise rates in a couple of years, we'll do the same thing, and it's just a way of pocketing some more profits between now and then.
So interest rates make money. Interest payouts cost them money, so certainly they're going to wait. Anthony, where can we find you at?
Yeah, anyone could go to my website, ProvidenceFinancialInc.com.
ProvidenceFinancialInc.com. Head on over today. Anthony, appreciate your time today.
Kurt, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. All right, head on over to Anthony's website. Appreciate his time today. That was great information, wasn't it, Don?
That's right.
Unbelievable. If you missed it.
That's right.
Yeah. Listen, if you missed it, check back on the Traders Nation rebroadcast. You can catch it over at YouTube. You can catch it over at Facebook, iTunes, and Spotify. Okay, all this. Hey, Don, I want to shotgun GLPI. I want to get into a little bit of gaming today. We don't talk about GLPI too much. It's gaming and leisure. Currently trading at $33.25. This is about the least volatile stock on our list with gaming, okay, here today, nice and steady. It's got a little bit slight downward bias, but Don, his with your knowledge on GLPI.
Well, GLPI is a REIT that pays a dividend, and this company is the brainchild of the guy that started PENN, P-E-N-N, a stock we've been following for a while.
Yeah.
And this is the holding company. GLPI is a holding company that acquires gaming assets and then leases back to the operators. As an example would be GLPI buying a hotel casino and then leasing it, either Penn or an El Dorado or any other of the operators who operate on a daily basis.
Sweet.
The hotels and the casinos.
That's a sweet business. And these are regionals too. So this, Wynns and Las Vegas Sands and all of them, they don't bother with these. So this is like a niche area. Hey, Don, do you own any stocks we talked about here today?
No.
All right,
I don't.
We can find you on all the social medias, right?
That's right.
Awesome. I don't own any stocks we talked about today, and these aren't buy or sell recommendations.